Well, good morning, and it is a good morning today because for the first time on my Lake District trip, the weather forecast has been good for sunrise. We're supposed to get sunny with a little bit of cloud, but we'll wait and see. It's also quite still, so we're heading down to Rydal Water in order to try and get one of those classic shots of the boathouse across the lake. Hopefully, be nice and still, and we'll get some good reflections, but fingers crossed. Tell you what, one thing I haven't missed is that 3:30 AM alarm. That was a bit of a shock when that went off this morning. Well, we've made it, and this is gorgeous, I've got to say. We've at least been rewarded with one of the two things, which is a nice flat lake to work with. Completely still down here, fantastic. Got our boathouse, which is just over there. We're going to try and zoom in, get that shot right across the lake. The sun should rise almost directly behind it. Not that we'll see it, of course, because there's a few mountains in the way, but I'm hoping it will light up that sky. Maybe we could do sort of a portrait or get a bit of the sky in if it goes a nice orange colour. We'll work with what we got, see what we can do, but fantastic. Look at the reflection in that water, stunning. Now, of course, this is not an original shot by any means, but it is one I want to get in the bag while I'm in the Lake District, because at the end of the day, it's a good shot for a reason. So I think what we're going to try and do is use some of these leaves on this tree here to sort of frame the boathouse. They're admittedly very green because it's summer, spring, but I think that'll work. And if the light comes out, then we'll move around a bit, get the tree out of the way and get some sky. Fantastic. What a brilliant place. Of course, as I take the shot, the wind picks up. Typical, isn't it? It's still 30-second exposure just to get the right amount of light in, so I think we'll be okay. Well, this is one of the few times that I haven't got the circular polarizer on my lens, because I want to capture all those beautiful reflections that are going on in this lake, with the sort of mountains behind it, and indeed the boathouse at the other side. It's not perfectly still, you know, conditions could be better, but they could always be better at the end of the day, couldn't they? And of course, when I take the photo, the breeze always picks up and it moves these leaves in the top of the frame. So I think we might have to do sort of a merge, two shots, one long exposure to try and get this lake as calm as possible, and then one just slightly quicker on these leaves. Now that is a wonderful first image, but it doesn't have a lot of sky in it, and the reflections are mostly of the mountains. So if that sky does light up, I think I'm not really making the most of it. So I'm going to head a bit further around the lake and we'll see if we can get a bit more sky. Got these rocks down here, I wonder if they will work. Well, we know, I scouted this location yesterday, so I know that there's a shot a bit further along the path where we might be able to get a bit of sky in it. So, but what a way to start the morning, eh? Brilliant. Now, the one thing I didn't account for, of course, is that yesterday when I scouted this location, the sun was over the other side, shining on that boathouse. And this morning, without it, you can barely see it, to be honest. So this could be a mistake, but I think I'm going to not abandon the boathouse, but head further around the lake, and we'll see if we can arrange a composition that really gets the lake water and the sky in the shot, because it is starting to go quite a nice goldeny orange colour. And I think a reflection will work, and we don't have much time because I reckon as the sun comes up, the wind's just going to pick up and get stronger and stronger. That's what it's forecast to do anyway, so we really want to get that reflection shot as early as we can. Well, after walking around to the location that I'd scouted out on the previous day, I just couldn't make a good shot. The boathouse had disappeared and the light just wasn't there. So after many failed photos, I decided to take my own advice, change my plans completely and head to another location with the hope that I could revisit this spot later in the morning with a nice orange sky. But what I think I might do is head up to the Rydal Cave. It's a bit of a climb, but it's a place I went to yesterday and I couldn't get a photo there. It was just too busy, too many people, sort of midday on a Saturday. And I think if the sun rises and it's still cloudless, which is a bit of a gamble at the moment because the clouds are starting to roll in, and it could give the sunshine streaming quite nicely into that cave. So we reached the cave, let's show you around. Dead quiet today, no one here, perfect. well, at least we'll be able to get a shot without any people in it, and there's a little bit of light happening outside, so maybe we'll be all right. We'll see what happens. We've got a nice reflection in the water. So I've just set the shot up in the cave. We're just looking out at the cave. There's no people around, so it's fantastic. I don't think it's unique in any other way though, but we do have this very nice reflection of this tree in the water. Obviously the water is dead calm because there's no wind in here. So that's working really well as a composition. Down nice and low. Again, no circular polarizer because I want that reflection. A little bit of light happening outside, a little bit of colour in the sky, not too much. No light on the fells in the background, which is a shame, but that's the penalty you get for coming at sunrise, isn't it? Fantastic place. I think this shot works. Let me know in the comments if you like it or not. Don't know, maybe it'd be better to come back at midday or sunset when there's a bit of light on that fell instead of the colour in the sky. If the sky had lit up orange, then it'd be fantastic, but that's the weather for you, isn't it? Well, I've just come a bit closer to the front of the cave, and we've got this tree that was one we're using for the reflection. Still got that in the water, switched to the wide angle lens, we're at about 15mm, something like that. And now we've got this one small cloud that's just worked its way across the sky, and it was for a moment bang in the centre of my shot with the cave lined up, looking out the cave, and that is lovely because it's also reflected in the nice still water. Fantastic. Oh, I'm having a great time here. This is where I should have come to start with, I reckon. Weather forecast is absolutely meaningless in this place though. This is meant to be sunshine. Ah, never mind. Well, it was too far round to see from the cave, but as I've just come out, the sun is just cresting the top of those mountains over there, just gone behind a cloud. But I'm at the top with no composition sorted out. I can see the boathouse. It doesn't really work from up here, I don't think. So I raced back down to my original location, determined to make it before the light disappeared for good. Oh, look at that. That is what I came out for. Well, as is always the way of my photography, this turned into a race to set up and grab the shots before the light disappeared. So, with my tripod set up precariously, one leg balanced against this wall, I set about getting the shots. There were 7 in total, 3 focusing on the boathouse in the far distance at various shutter speeds to merge into a HDR, 1 long exposure to try and smooth out that water, and another 4 focusing on various points of the wall and the tree to focus stack everything and get everything sharp throughout the image. Although I'd have liked the water to be a bit flatter, I think the rush back down and the effort setting up the multiple shots was worth it in the end. This awesome image over Rydal Water. Well, that made it all worth it, that did. Didn't need to get up early after all, but what a fantastic place. And I got some photos of the cave, which I wouldn't have been able to do otherwise without any people there anyway. Well, what a fantastic morning that was. Unfortunately, the best light appears to be coming out just as I'm going home. That's always the way, isn't it? Did get a few more shots of the local trees. I think they've turned out okay. If they did, I'll put them up now. Otherwise, just like to say thank you so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a quick like. Consider subscribing for some other content, and I hope to see you soon.